If you can hear the clinking of my rings, if you can hear the clinking of Io's rings, that means you are tuned in to yet another episode of Jess Finesse Presents. I don't even have the energy to do my what's poppin'.
What's poppin'?
Thank you, Io. Thank you.
Does
David, do you want to give it a go?
Sound the same.
We have a new voice on the pod today.
What's poppin'?
I don't know if you did me justice. Happy Friday. Y'all know the drill. It's another Friday in this wretched, nonsense, rubbish country, but we still move. We still keep it pushing. Hopefully, by the time you hear this episode, you would have heard the episode with our Miss World, who she did a very decent job of trying to defend this nation. I let her defend it because, she the guest, but it's my house now. This country's trash. And it will continue to be trash until a revolution occurs. Anyways, you know how we do. Each week we have special guests, and each guest is special in their own very special way. And this week is no different, even though I've never met this young man before. I've never spoken to him before. I don't even think I've seen his face before. Ladies and gentlemen, gentle people of the world, because we do not discriminate with gender, I have with me the one, the only. If I had drum rolls, I would do a drum roll, please. Wolf. But I think they call him Don Dollars. Wolf, what's poppin'?
I'm good. We're shaking.
He's like you're sweating.
When I hear that name, it just sets me off, so it's fine.
Are you triggered?
Mildly.
Can we unpack your trauma?
I don't know. We can try.
Okay. Why is your name Don Dollars in
I think we should start with Wolf.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, look, you set the pace. My G set the pace. Why they call you Wolf?
I chose it.
Okay. Were you an artist?
No.
Why?
So, when you have this period where you're trying to rediscover yourself and, you're trying to find a new identity, right?
Facts.
You start branching out, you start thinking of new things.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was trying to do that, I think I had this moment where I was into astrology and shit.
Okay.
So I was checking for what's my birthstone is.
What's your sign?
Cancer.
Okay.
I don't believe in it now, and I've forgotten all of that shit. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so I was doing that, and then I'm like, okay, so people born in June, they have an affinity for the moon.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so what animal has an affinity for the moon? And okay, the wolf. And I'm like, the wolf is a really cool animal.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's had bad rep because of the Bible and shit. People just say, oh, wolves will come out and eat you and stuff.
Mm-hmm,
I'm like, wolves are not really like that. They're super calm. They mind their business. They stay focused. They're all about family. And I fucked with it. It's heavy, so I just chose it. So it's not the wolf. It's not a wolf. It's wolf.
It's the intentionality for me.
Thank you.
Chop my knuckle, please. Come on. There we go. So now, are you ready to tell us why you they call
Already
you?
done dollars.
They call you.
I think I'm going to blame my sister for this.
Okay, shout out to Wolf's sister.
No, I'm not shouting her out.
And
so this babe, she's richer than me, and that's the worst part. She just woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm going to rename you, because she was trying to whine me to buy her an iPad, right? So she started calling me Don Dollars, and I've hated it ever since. She told my guy, Yemi, I think I've known him for the longest, right? It's longer than Ayo.
Shout out to
And
Yemi.
we went to eat Japanese. I think we did that 2 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during dinner and stuff, Yemi just comes out and says, guys, I have a story for you. And he just yells that shit. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? It was between me, my sister, and you. And now we've added
it went
6
from
more people.
a insider triangle to an octagon.
Yo, I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's just my guys. So I don't really mind. I know I got here and you said it.
Can I be your guy now? Does that mean I'm your guy?
I mean, it's too late at this point. There's nothing I can do about it.
I forced myself into his life.
What am I going to do about it?
There's something I want to do. It's really itching my body. I want to hail you.
Go ahead.
This is the way I hail people in this podcast.
Yeah,
Are you ready, Ayo?
Let's go.
Are you sure? Is my phone going to drop?
No.
Okay. All right. One hand up. 2 hands up.
Okay.
Okay. 1 leg. 2 legs.
Hey!
Let's go.
Oh my God. But anyway, like I said, thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting me put you on the spot. Now, it's a very important question. I ask all my guests this.
Yes.
This question will determine whether I rate you or not rate you.
Okay.
This question will determine whether you are Don Dollars or Paul Penny, okay?
Yeah, let's
Wow.
go.
You can really shift the narrative,
Yeah, no.
all right? You can go
Right.
from, affording iPad to not affording Nokia, all right?
Let's
Now,
go.
white or yellow?
White, please. White.
He didn't even waste time. And he knew exactly what I was talking
That's a
about.
proper
Right.
Yoruba boy.
Thank you. Wait, so you like this yellow thing?
You will never catch me drinking whites on my own.
For real?
Like, something has to happen. Like, no, money can't even get me to drink this for fun.
I
It's
feel the same
yellow
way
or
about
nothing.
yellow Garri.
I first started to drink yellow Garri, white Garri one time.
Yeah. And
it wasn't
She
fun.
didn't even finish it.
It felt like torture.
I
in
feel
my
like
mouth.
I'll probably have to be like on the pain of death.
Mhm.
Like someone is threatening my life. Like, bro, you have to eat this or you die.
That's
And
the only way
I'll
you
still
can-
think twice about
Boy, I
it.
promise you that it's not that bad.
Bro, I don't touch. Like, I've only had like yellow eba once in my life.
Oh wow, you don't.
So
mean
you
don't mean-
even
And
you
I had it-
even
I had it when
have
I was-
white eba.
I don't like eba.
You don't?
I don't.
Chama not go.
I don't like it. So somehow I'm like, bro, what's like? Yeah, there's amala, there's like pounded, there's like
Oh, you like
starch.
amala?
Yeah, no, what's
You need
wrong
to
with
I
amala?
need to take that chop.
No, we're not doing that. So.
Oh damn!
You don't like
No,
amala?
You said
I
amala?
can never put that thing.
I think
in my
that
mouth.
was like the first red flag. Like, say amala.
Bruh. Okay. So wow, that was quick. No wasting of
No,
time.
sir.
Yeah.
Insult my Garri, I insult yours. We
And I
switch.
just
Oh yeah.
it.
Switch it.
Switch.
Now,
Oh,
I think I don't even know if this became a thing where I started asking people about like their secondary school experience. I think it just randomly started happening and then I just kept doing it. So it just makes sense to me because I think it helps me, kind of have an understanding of your upbringing.
okay.
And I think it contributes to like the person you are today. So, secondary school,
Yep.
boarding school or day school?
Day school.
You look like the type.
What's that
You
supposed to
look
mean?
like the type. You look like your hands are soft.
Wow.
You look
Well,
like they didn't
are,
make you.
but like it's fine.
Do you look like they didn't make you kneel inside the gutter for punishment?
No, I didn't do any of
and
that shit.
use
That's rough.
cutlass to cut the
No,
lamb,
that life
the
is too rough.
headmaster's
I didn't do-
grass.
I didn't do any of that shit. None.
What school did you go to?
Triple Cross High School.
Where's that?
It's in Ikeja.
Okay. Do you live in Lagos all your life? Like, were you born in?
Yeah, I was born here.
So you're Lagos born,
Yeah.
Lagos bred,
Lagos
Lagos
bred.
still living.
living.
Hopefully,
Must
we'll
be
not die in
nice.
this Lagos. So.
Oh no,
Must
that's
be
not going to
nice.
happen.
So this school I've never heard of it before.
So it's like, so they had like a primary school that was really big, and then they decided to branch out and do a secondary school.
Okay.
So it's like really young. It's like, so when I joined the school, so I moved from one secondary school that I was at before, like for junior secondary, right? That was Mayor's International School, somewhere in Ikeja, right? So I moved from there to this new school, and this new school was a bit rubbish. I'm not even going to lie. It was way more expensive, but it was rubbish.
How was it rubbish? If you don't mind me asking.
Okay, so school-wise, like academics, right? So it was sound. Like they were good. Like they would teach you and stuff. But then, it's like much more than like just attending class or like passing your exams and stuff. Like there are like extracurricular activities like sports. Doing competitions, like learning to play instruments. I don't know, like there's just like much more to that. Like we weren't doing any of that shit. Like, so the way the school was, the owner bought like this big ass house. Like I think it was like a twin duplex or something. Like it's really huge, right? And she converted it into a secondary school. So in our class we had like a bathroom and a toilet in it. So it's like big ass
Classroom en suite.
So, and then like we never had like homeroom teachers. Like we didn't have like a class teacher, like a teacher that would stay in class with us. So we were almost always on our own, right? And why would you leave teenagers in a room with a bathroom and toilets to be on their own for extended periods? Like we never had
what happened.
Yeah, so anything you can think of happened, right? So it wasn't like we were lost in my class, like we were like 10 or something, right? But then we were really like out there.
I don't get it. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm slow.
You're not
And
slow.
Like what you're thinking,
Super.
yeah, that's what was happening. Like everything was just, I think they gave us too much liberty. I'm not complaining now, right?
Right.
I think they gave us too much liberty. Like they just let us do what we wanted to do. So we were misbehaving. We used to do things that I don't think
how
I
old
can
were you?
name. We're like 14,
Okay.
13,
Okay.
15, 16.
Mhm.
So I was there for 3 years, I think. And those 3 years, I think they were the most unruly period of my life, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
I
Shout
was
out to Khan.
active, right?
This guy he's talking in a vague way that I want to just.
I was very active.
Active,
so,
what, like you were a runner? Like you were athletic? What? Active
yeah,
how?
I was running, bro. I was in the streets. We're in the streets. Like it was a loss, right? It wasn't just like, doing activities that might probably get me arrested. It was like, I was just like out there, right?
Right.
It was just like a lot.
And you feel like it's because of your school experience that influenced that, or like other factors as well?
Like you're a teenager, right? It's like when
Facts.
you're young and like you have friends and like everybody wants to go for parties. I don't know, like if you used to come back like to Lagos during summer.
It's only Chris.
Like I mean, like when you were still like maybe in like secondary school or something.
Well, I did the whole like 2 years of boarding school.
Oh, you did boarding
Yeah,
school.
but
What
it wasn't
school?
in Lagos. That train was in Southeast.
But
Okay.
but yeah, that also people will come back like during summer and like everybody would just like do house parties and stuff. So yeah, we were really doing all of that. Yeah, so it was a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think it changed my perspective on a lot of things, right?
Okay.
And that attitude led me into uni. Yeah.
Okay, where'd you go to school?
Uni, like University of Lagos.
Yeah, is
Love
that
it.
where y'all meet? Is that where y'all met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually met him like on the first day
Mhm.
of like the first time I ever went to
Team.
to do like a screening or something. Crazy.
Really interesting, right? So
So you enjoyed your experience at Unilag?
no, fuck no. I think okay, wait.
I
Hold on.
No,
I
I don't
think
think-
the memories were great. I'm not even going to lie.
Mhm.
Right? School wise, same thing. I didn't give a shit. Nothing. I didn't give a shit about school.
What'd you read?
Economics.
So y'all were in the same departments too?
Yeah.
Huh, okay, O'Shea besties. Okay.
So yeah.
So your experience, you didn't like Unilag?
No, I didn't. Like I think you'd be lying to yourself if you felt like Unilag was the shit. It's okay. So
No,
I
like,
don't mean to
the
diss
shit academically. Like I think,
academic.
yeah.
So in terms like going for a class. So here's how it works for me. So my whole life, I've never been in a class that had like more than 15 people.
Okay.
Right. So I moved from that into
Lecture halls with like
1,000 people.
That's
And I'm like, bro,
nasty.
I can't even ask this guy, like,
yeah.
can you explain this? Like, what happened here? Like, can you go back? Like,
Mhm.
okay, like he'll be dictating like his notes and stuff, and they would expect you to just catch up. I didn't do any of that. So I think I would say that was kind of like my fault. I was too soft, yeah.
Okay.
And
Are you like rugged now?
yeah, man.
I can't tell. You look
It's
so
fine.
proper. I feel like it's if given in the right situation, in the right environment,
You'll see the ruggedness.
you'll change your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
all of this is just like a facelift.
facade.
So if you had seen me 2 months ago, you wouldn't be saying this now, but it's fine.
I'm low-key scared.
Yeah.
/ intrigued. Wow, I have a lot of questions I want to ask you, but okay, let me have discipline.
Yeah.
All right, so see what we're gonna do.
Okay.
How do you drink? How do you ingest? How do you enjoy your Garri?
Are you
So
smoking?
it's kind of like how you do your cereal, right? You pour the cereal first,
Okay.
and then like you add.
That's super subjective. Some people pour the milk first.
I feel bad for them as well.
He feels bad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, you pour the grain 1st. Mhm.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then you add the ice.
Oh, you put ice in your Garri.
Yeah, no, so it's to be cold. Like, would you drink it's like lukewarm?
It's tepid for me. It's
Oh.
lukewarm for me.
No.
You feel bad for me too?
I feel bad for you.
No,
Like,
it's okay. Oh yeah, you
What
add
are
the
you
ice.
doing?
What next?
And then so you put the groundnut first, like before the ice.
Okay.
Like the ice sits on top of all of that, right?
You put the ice before you put water.
Yes, no.
Is this
But
your
then
thing
there's
with
no honey,
Sandy?
so there's sugar, right?
Mhm. So you use that as a replacement
yeah.
sweetener.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's no honey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do your Garri, sugar, granules,
Mhm.
ice, then water.
You don't put milk.
I don't mind milk.
I thought you were about to say you're bad for
No.
You feel
Like,
bad for those of us that
I
put milk.
learned that in uni. Like one of my guys put me on that, and I appreciate him.
What's that?
Farouk.
For real?
Yeah,
I
straight
feel
up.
bad for you guys. All of you that take milk in general.
You
Anyway,
know, this
shout
guy,
out to
you're a dead
Farouk.
guy, so it's
See, he said it, not me. All right, let's do the honors.
All right,
Bowl.
Thank you.
So this is what we're gonna do. As you're preparing your Garri in this
Yeah.
very intricate and very concise, deliberate way.
It's
I
not
want-
that complex, but it's fine.
No, all that honey, put the ice
Yeah.
before the water. That sound long to
Sounds
me.
like a bartender.
It's low key.
Okay.
Bartender of Garri's. What is this freaking scientific name?
Garium
I
sulfate.
keep forgetting. Garium
Garum
sulfate.
sulfates. Is that what it's really called?
That's what he calls it.
It's
or
not.
that's
It's
what-
not real.
Okay,
It's just
yeah.
like-
Fine, but-
I want you to kind of tell us what you do.
Okay.
So you're gonna multitask. You're gonna
Okay.
prepare that Garri. You're gonna tell us what you do. What makes the money that your sister wants to even thinks you can buy iPad.
Okay.
Tell us so we too want to also work in
You
that
want to ask me
sector.
for an iPad or
No,
you
no,
want?
no,
Okay,
no. I'm
okay,
not.
fair,
We don't know
okay.
each other that well.
Okay,
Give me like a couple days.
A couple days.
I'm joking. I'm independent
okay.
here, struggling.
Okay.
No, but what do you do?
It's called
Multitask.
Okay, so it's called CRO.
Okay.
And that's conversion rates optimization. So I am currently an analyst. At the end of the year, I would graduate to being a specialist, right?
My boss.
Are you in school now?
School?
You said you would graduate to being a specialist.
Okay, so I'll move up to being a specialist,
Okay.
right?
Got you.
Okay, cool.
Wait, did you have to take like certification classes?
Yeah,
for that?
I did. It was 3 months long. Longest period of my life. Shit. I felt like
Was that during your Wolf rebrand?
No. This was like when was COVID? Last year.
COVID is still happening.
Oh, I mean, like we're in Lagos now.
Lockdown.
Let's not lie to ourselves.
They'll come and say we're not being responsible
Lagos
in our
is
messaging.
opened.
We're outside, basically.
Okay, we're outside. Yeah,
Okay,
so.
let's go.
So I did that for 3 months, and that was one of the longest things I've had to do
Okay.
because it wasn't. It's not school anymore, right? And nobody, damn it, and nobody is going to be on your neck. So I did that for 3 months, and that was a really interesting period. I had to relearn a lot of things that I thought I knew about marketing and running a business. So before all of this, we used to run a business.
Okay.
Myself, Ayumiko, and one of our guys. So we used
Okay.
to do a business, and we were kind of like selling merch online.
Okay.
That's on Instagram, right?
Uh-huh.
And while we were doing that, we were like picking up skills. Obviously, I mean, like you're running a business in Lagos, so definitely you're going to pick up skills.
More
like-
everything self-taught.
yeah, so we're doing all of that, and we kind of like discovered that we were not good enough. I wouldn't say we're not good enough, like we were not skilled enough. I think that's the best way to phrase it, right?
Okay.
We needed to know more, and we needed to understand how actual businesses operates, right? We wanted to understand, like, thank you. We wanted to understand like the infrastructure of running a business,
Mhm.
right? And in doing that, we discovered that okay, we needed to streamline our efforts and like become more specialized in specific like skills.
That's a good segue. All right. Now that I know you have experience in the music industry in a very good and impactful way, I would like you to pick up the first fan that you see in front of you.
Okay, the
And
first one
read.
I could pick anyone.
You can actually pick anyone you want.
I knew that was very, very
Why do you know that was the one he was going to
Was
pick?
it
it's so
something
funny
from an anime?
how we're talking about it, right? Has the nine.
The pod gods
Whoa, what song is
never
that?
fail us. David, you better arise attention because you're talking.
Oh
Read
yeah.
the question.
Mado.
Has the Nigerian music sound changed? That's an interesting question.
Yes, so
Let's go.
basically, if you look at the Nigerian music, like look at Nigerian music,
Mm-hmm.
the sound over the years
Mhm.
it has changed.
Of
Like
course.
from in comparison to like okay, let's throw it back from
Mhm.
like the Two-Face era
Yeah,
to the Conga era.
yeah.
It wasn't even the Conga era to the Conga era, to like the Wizkid era,
Mm-hmm.
to now the Fireboy.
Mhm.
I find it very problematic when you say the Two-Face and Wizkid era because Two-Face and Wizkid are still making music in 2021 that is still relevant.
Yeah, but they wouldn't.
That's why you should have just give a year so that we can analyze the hits or like the sound that was
So should we
dominant
go
that year.
as far back as like
Okay, let's say
2000?
2010.
Like,
Let's break in 10 years.
okay,
Like 10 years. So from like 2000 and 10 years isn't too much. 2005 to like 2010-ish.
Yeah.
There was a what's that? No, that was no.
there was like a certain sound that
It
was like
sound like very danceable,
yes.
very drum.
it was a bit slow. It wasn't too fast paced.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it wasn't too fast paced.
I actually thought
Let's start like this. What were the
fast-paced
songs
Yeah.
that were pushing and driving the sound?
at the
And
time.
David, please, you're the one
Okay.
that did music as in is like booked to you.
As
Please
in,
make
like,
sure you
there
tell
was
us.
like Style
Oh.
Plus and
Okay.
there
So we're talking
was-
about Olufumi.
Yeah, Olufumi. Yeah, that was like
Okay.
kind of like slow paced, right?
Don't do that. Don't
It
do
was?
that.
Olufumi was like
I'm so
2004.
shocked.
Okay.
Come
Yeah,
on, give
but-
us some
Yeah,
names.
but like it's still like the same.
Yeah.
Like I think if like
So
it falls
did
in
that
the same
song
bracket.
drive and influence the sound? Yes or no? Because the difference between like what were hits and like what were people that meant when they dropped this song, when they dropped this sound, it kind of like started reshaping what the following songs were sounding like after it dropped.
Yeah.
So I need examples of those type of songs.
That dropped in 2005.
That dropped in whatever time period that IO said.
Yeah.
Because we need to know that so that we can know what we're comparing this current sound to say how it has changed.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, like I just want to really get the question you're asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has the Nigerian
music sound
changed, right? Everyone agrees yes.
Yes.
But there's no context. Like what are we comparing from where to where? From what time period to what time period?
Okay.
So they said they want to use 2005 to 2010 as a benchmark to compare like the sound of then to the sound of now.
Yeah.
So what type of songs and what type of sound were we listening to in between 2005 and 2010?
Okay, so around 2005, there wasn't a blueprint for how to make music.
Okay.
We had songs like Oruka, we had songs like Style Plus, and Lagbaja would go to the studio and hit us with that is Afrocentric juju vibe.
Exactly.
I feel that to me, those were the glory days of pop music in Nigeria.
Yes.
Because you could literally go into the studio. Two Faces' first single, if named Baga as a solo artist, was literally like a hip-hop sounding stuff. You didn't have to do Afro beats.
Yeah.
You didn't have to go to the studio to make like the
same
Afro
type
heavily,
of sound,
influenced African vibes. You could just make music you wanted. Do you understand? So I think that's what we had around that 2005, 2006 era.
So you don't. So so there's no characteristics that applied to multiple of these songs. To say like, oh, these songs were slower in nature. Oh, these songs had heavy bass. Oh, these songs had a lot of talking drum. Oh, these songs sounded like hip hop. Like there was no defining characteristics.
Because Sonny Neji would drop something and P Square would drop another thing. And D'banj came in 2003. And if you ask me, D'banj was one of those people, the Mo Hits crew, himself and Dojazi, like they kind of like started to mold what
we have now
evolved into
this was big
because they were all about moving your butt, dancing, the young boy flashy
first
boy
album
style.
Curriculum Vitae. I don't know if you've heard it.
But who's the
Mohit's first album?
Curriculum Vitae.
Yeah, that shit was such a banger.
Like Mohit's was like even like the culture of like moving as a squad.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Everybody wanted to be a squad because they always be together. You see Don Jazzy with his walking stick. You see the D'banj by his side, the Prince. Everyone was like together. They were always together.
That squad culture really came from them.
Came from Mohit. Because like I can't remember any group.
Yeah, that moved like them.
That moves like Mohits at the time.
But to answer your question, Jess, to answer your question, no, there were no obvious characteristics that brought the songs together or made them sound like, oh, this was the sound that was raining. But if there was anything that all those songs had in common, their pen game was insane.
Yeah.
That's when
they really wrote words. Like listening to Style Plus, like you would read the lyrics of Olufemi right now in 2021.
And it's so sad.
And it will be hard for you to find a song that talks about love with those words. They were, Two Face had a lot to say. Lagbaja had a lot to say in his song.
Okay, so I need to give slight context. The person's voice who you're hearing now, his voice is new, but his presence is not new. That is our sound engineer. He's the one that makes sure the sound is popping. Shout out to David. David, not only is he a sound engineer, he's a music producer. And he's not your mate because he produces for artists and he produces for advertising. So while the rest of us are struggling to look for split sheets, my guy is getting paid straight. No question. So
get that money.
The thing is, right?
Yeah.
When you say, one, I want to ask you, because the way you're just glorifying, the songwriting of that time period, do you think that the people that make music now, they don't write well?
I think the emphasis is on the music right now and mixing and mastering and posh beats.
Okay.
Posh beats. Very simple to remember hooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
which is not a bad. Is that a good or bad thing to you?
No, I'm not saying then was better. You asked the question to give you characteristics that made music then sound alike, and that was the one thing that that comes to mind. Do you understand? To say, okay, back then, I think there was a lot of emphasis on songwriting.
Okay.
On actually taking your time to write the lyrics to your song. It wasn't about vibing. Like the culture now, you can just have a very nice beat, go to the studio,
put one or
just
two vibes.
Vibe, then try and make up the words later. It doesn't really, in short, it doesn't have to be too complicated. Because when you start having too many intricate, stuff, and this doesn't apply to everybody doing music right now.
Yeah,
that's the truth. But if we're talking like pop, the pop music sound right now in the Nigerian scene, the emphasis is not really on songwriting.
Okay. Io and Wolf.
Do you remember? Do you
Bounce.
know this song? My, oh, my, oh, my, oh, my.
Yeah.
Public Diary.
Take it to the top.
He did a remix recently with Runtown. And if you listen to that, you can see the difference between the two generations.
Which one is better?
Like, it sounds, no one is whack, but you can see the difference. Runtown was vibes, like, on the song.
Yeah, it was.
But Public gave us lyrics. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's kind of like a reflection of what's, the kind of people that were, really out there in, like, that generation. So, like, back then, there was more emphasis on, like, the meaning of songs and, like, how it made them, feel like they could relate to the lyrics.
All right. I'm going to pick up the next fan.
Okay. Let's go. What's that one?
Do gospel artists make as much money as Afro-pop artists?
Oh, I love this.
Let me give you context.
Let's go.
The reason why my sound engineer has a mic today is today I found out that he plays drums. And he plays drums at... Is it that you play drums at your church? Or you used to play drums at church?
Yeah, I used to. But right now, I just...
You're not.
I don't do that.
Don't worry, Jesus still loves you. But okay, but Sha, at one point in your life,
band.
Okay.
No, wala. So at one point you were playing drums and you were playing drums at church.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you were also, I think you said you also did work with gospel artists.
Yeah.
In what capacity again?
Drummer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just like casually said, oh, you must be making bar. Like gospel artists must be paying you. And he said, pause. That gospel artists do not pay. Like I said, gospel artists must pay their, people that work with them more than Afropop artists. And he said, he looked at me like, no. And I was shocked because I'm like, gospel artists, I'm assuming they make bread. I'm assuming they make bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also assuming that they have the fear of the Lord in them. That, they'd want to pay fair wages.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, no. So it kind of opened up the conversation to be like, gospel artists, they make money.
Yes.
And maybe I'm a bit like ignorant or like a bit idealist or illogical, thinking that maybe some of them make as much money as some of our Afropop artists. And everyone was here saying, heck no, they do not.
They're definitely seeing money, right?
Okay.
It's like, let's not even, I think comparing it, that might be a bit of a reach. But for those who are actively out there like Sinach,
Team Godfrey,
exactly, like those people, right? Like they're really seeing bread, they're seeing money. And more often than not, they tend to pay people in Jesus Loves You. Okay, so
is that what they were telling you, David? As they'll give you a salary.
In fact, some of them try to emotionally
manipulate.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Okay. Some of them try to emotionally manipulate you into it, bringing the whole spiritual thing. We're looking for spiritual musicians. We don't want people who are
money hungry.
Yes, they are looking for money. We want people who come and serve the Lord. But
in
nigga,
spirit and in truth.
Before you left your house to go for this show, they already paid for your flight, your ticket, everything, your hotel. They will give you good customer service. You walk into the hotel and see a towel with your face on it because they're trying to make you feel good and all of that. They do all of that with you.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's put Sinach, right? Because that's the biggest gospel artist, at least out of Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I can't speak on it.
Well, in terms of reach, yes. Okay. She had like the biggest gospel song in probably
that was
the
her,
world.
right?
Yes, Waymaker.
Okay, so we have Sinach on my left hand.
Mm-hmm.
and then let's take Wizkid on my right, right? Let's say they were only national artists and you remove all international income they make. We're just looking at their Nigerian income.
Yeah.
You want to tell me that Sinach don't make as much money as Wizkid?
There's a chance that... Okay, so you mean Wizkid as at now?
Hey,
like as at now?
Yankee money.
Remove Yankee money. Yeah.
Every money. Just think like the only money we're accounting for is money that is made in Nigeria. So whether it's shows, endorsements, whatever.
If we're saying, maybe she's going for shows and all of that, and Wizkid too is going for shows
and all of that,
is beating her hands down. Do you know how much it's charging now?
What?
Oh my Jesus!
But she probably would. But she probably would perform more frequently than Wizkid.
Yeah, sure. Because like it's steady bar, like she. But then realize that it's just when Wizkid gets paid, it's just like it's mostly him and then his management team. But then with Sinach, there's her management team, her band. That's what she's doing with her band.
But what if Wizkid has a band? You have to pay his band.
She's not paying them shit. The organizers would pay them.
As a event organizer, you know.
Yes, like he's not paying them. His money is separate from everybody. Why are you joining my money and someone else's money?
But there's some artists I know that have bands and they
can request
specifically
for. He can request specifically for his band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you request specifically for his band, they have to pay his band. He's not going to take money from his pocket to pay them. He will tell you, I only want to work with these people. They know my sound. They can play for me. And you have to pay them. He can make that request. He's Wizkid. Let's not even.
Oh, so if you're a lesser known artist, you can't make such a request.
I mean, let's not even like play
stupid.
Yes, like exactly. Like you're Wizkid. You're probably like the biggest in Africa. So if you say I want this, they will give to you.
Okay.
I mean, look at him. So if he's doing a show in Nigeria.
So you're saying that it's Sinach's 20 church appearances at like 20 mega churches.
I mean, how much would she be charging for each church? Like, let's start with that. So I think there might be a cap for that. As much as I feel like these people love Jesus,
I don't think they're gonna tell you, oh yeah, because I love the Lord, you don't have to pay me.
You know, I'm just saying like
they'll severance fees.
Yeah, so I'm saying like there will be a cap for it, right? Let's say 2 million, 3 million, right?
Okay.
And for Wizkid's bag is like 20 million deep at least, I think. And that's minus the amount for flying him.
10 shows. She would have to do 10 church
appearances
and 10 altar calls to be his one.
I think about Jesus like 20 times. Like,
in Abuja.
But something.
And you've taken out the cost of you've not taken out like the cost of flying him there because he only flies in private jets. You've not taken out the cost of his there are other like utilities. Is it utilities? Like there are other like
his
fees,
rider,
like,
his technical rider is probably way more extensive than.
So like there's so much more like that goes into bringing an artist like Wizkid, his transportation, feeding. If he's going to the club after that night, he's not touching his money. Jesus, no, he's not doing that. You're paying for it. If he's going to any appearance he's making at any point, it is being paid for. Someone like Sinach, you're not paying for any of those things. I mean,
why not?
I mean, sure, she could factor in her like transportation and she could factor
so
in.
Why can't Sinach be like, yo, my drummer, my guitarist, my this?
She can make those requests as well because she is big.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am saying is she can't make a request she can't make a request about the amount she's going to be paid. Like she can't say, I want 15 million for this show.
Why not?
Okay,
it's church.
I actually think it depends.
It is church.
I think it depends on the show.
Do you think they're going to pay her 15 million for the experience?
What's this guy's name? What's this guy?
And the experience
what's this Indian
is the
guy's
biggest.
name? He's the televangelist. What is this guy's name? Benny Hinn
Benny
or something.
Hinn?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh no, that's international.
That's
That guy he's different, right? His bag is different.
You can't even compare who. You got Kirk Franklin. You can't compare.
So I'm trying to say, the reason why I'm bringing up these two people, right, is because when Wolf is saying she can't request this thing because it's church. But there's other people that I don't think they care if they're coming to church. They'll tell you this is my appearance fee.
Here's the thing.
Called
church.
It's called severance or something like that.
People understand this.
Is it honorarium? Are you sure
severance?
I don't think it's severance
or something like that. Yeah. I don't call it. You don't call it.
Why can't somebody be like, yo, my appearance, because you are appearing at church.
Okay, so another thing
church.
What I wanted to say was these guys.
It is church.
And so,
can I say something?
Go on.
After that a performance at that church, one person can give her a house.
Yeah,
and
so happens. So I was led by the Spirit.
So like, so they know what they can possibly get as well from going.
So does that not say that that these gospel artists can similarly make money like
I'm not saying
Afro
they're not
pop
making
artists.
money.
No, comparable to Afro pop artists.
The money
From their
that
work,
Afro pop
Yeah.
artists make from their work cannot be compared
Yeah, it
to
can
the
be.
one that. Sure, what AY just said is just the honest truth.
Yeah.
Those guys earn more from people trying to bless them
Bless them.
than
Actual,
from
like,
the
yeah.
fees they get from the shows they go to.
Okay.
Alright.
So every episode I ask a guest
Yeah.
to put us on to a song that you'd want the listeners and us to check out.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick a song.
Yeah.
The only thing is it cannot be a song that the person doesn't own the masters.
Oh,
I beg, I don't
Jesus.
want copyright strike on my podcast.
I used to do SoundCloud like you lost back then.
Okay.
That's how I found out Made in Tayo and all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how I found Made in Tayo. I found Tory Lanez, Bryson Tiller as well. Like so that has stopped clearly. Like I don't think I'm listening to anybody new. So I'm not sure because like it's really like SoundCloud artists that you know and like you can say that you can play their shit and nobody's going to hunt you down or like take your video
So can I take your song of the week?
Yeah, sure you can do it.
David,
Plug me.
you're playing Mizzle Angelica at the end of this spot. Thank you. There's this guy who like blew up. Well, he went viral because he used to make TikToks of like how to make a WizKid song, how to make a Burna Boy song and stuff like that. So he dropped an EP titled In the Dark.
Oh,
That's the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy.
For real?
Yes, sir.
you know him?
Yeah. I know. I've seen his videos.
I mean, many people have at least seen his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, he dropped an EP. Guys, he does more than TikTok. Please, guys, support him. Listen to his EP. And David will play Angelica. We had an amazing time. This is Jess Finesse presents. Jess Finesse presents first one to do Garri cake on the pod. First time he only went through 2 fans on the pod. Got marketing advice. Talked about freaking gospel artists in a very interesting way. Wolf, you rock. Please go back to going being an analyst before they fire you or you fire yourself. I don't know which one works. But we are out.